Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. Today I wanted to discuss nightmares. I've had a few myself this week and it's been pretty intense, and I know that it can really make things really hard like during the day ahead after you've had a nightmare. So I wanted just to talk a little bit about it and just in general and what it could maybe mean, and also what to do about it. But I'll go into specifics in other dream interpretation videos, but I wanted just to do it generally today. So first of all, I'm gonna let you know about my 3 horrible nightmares this week, and then what I think they mean for me personally, and maybe then what they could mean for you as well. So the first nightmare I had this week was a few days ago, and I pretty much dreamt. This is a reoccurring nightmare that I get sometimes. The feeling is exactly the same. And the feeling is one of being completely and utterly unloved. Like there's no one in the world that loves you or even likes you. And it's like you could feel like you're being almost bullied in the dream. And for me personally, I'll wake up and I'll feel really awful, and for that entire day, I'm in such sadness. It's such a hard feeling to shake, and I find this to be my absolute worst nightmare, because it's not like from like a horror movie kind of a dream or nightmare. It's more like a intense look into myself. And personally, because I always think that like what you dream, especially when it's a really strong dream, whether it's a nightmare or a nice dream, if it's very intense, it's like your higher self, I'm telling you, it's like screaming to you that you need to do something, or that you're doing something right or whatever. So for me personally, I really think that dream meant that I need to really start loving myself and being much more kind to myself, because I can be very harsh against myself, and I myself tell myself I'm not good enough, as we all do, and it's not a particularly nice thing to say about yourself. I mean, you should treat yourself like you treat your best friend, but a lot of the time you don't do that. So for me personally, I think that this dream, when that dream comes, it's a big like, hey, whoa, wake up, like you need to look after yourself, you need to love yourself, and I need to listen to that, and I need to get better at it, and it's a work in progress. And suppose I'll just have to keep doing affirmations, keep telling that little troll of a monster to shut its ugly face when it's shouting nasty things at me, which I have done sometimes now. And if you sort of put a little face to it or something, like I do, like a little troll, I have a friend who says it's like the devil on her shoulder, and you have different names for it. But if you give it like an identity, you can almost feel like, okay, well, it's not coming from me. These nasty thoughts aren't coming from me. It's coming from somewhere in my ego and a belief system that isn't true. Dream number 2 I had was really scary, but this was more like horror movie scary. So I was at my job, long corridors, and I have a kind of job where I look after refugee kids, and we sleep the night there. So we take turns and we sleep the night. It's kind of like a home, for them. So what I dreamt was I was like walking these corridors, kind of, it's at night, and it was dark and scary. And I saw like further away, I was by myself in the dream, in the corridor, and further away there was a ghost, and she wasn't like, she had her back to me. It was like a woman. She had like a jumper on her, and it just felt spooky, just the whole thing. So I remember in the dream I was walking into my bedroom where I was going to sleep, and I slammed the door and locked the door. Like the door had a sort of like an elevator window, and all of a sudden this ghost is like right up at the window, and she's staring at me like this with white eyes. It was freaking terrifying. It was so scary. It was like a high horror movie. It was so scary. I can't even tell you how scary that was. Ooh, it gives me the creeps just thinking about it again. It's horrible. And so I dreamt that. And also, again, I have to think, okay, ghosts. like I am moving on in my job, because this job isn't a job that goes on forever anyway. It's like all the kids that I've been looking after are growing up and moving out, and so it's a job that's ending regardless. So me dreaming this, it's just, I think it's a very strong indicator for me personally that I should move on. I should look at other jobs, like look ahead. As in anyone's dream, a ghost represents something in your past that you haven't really dealt with yet. So if you're dreaming of a ghost, then you should look into what is it in my past that I can't let go, or that I haven't let go of yet, that I haven't processed. So look into it and maybe start doing affirmations, maybe sit and meditate for a bit and think of this thing in your past. And sometimes a lot of it's got to do with forgiveness, like you want to forgive yourself or others. So you can like do affirmations saying, I forgive myself and I forgive others and I let it go. Also want to say that a ghost, as in maybe, let's say you're dreaming of a relative that's died and you dream of this ghost, your grandma or something, sitting with you, and it's just a wonderful feeling, a nice warm feeling, and especially if it's a bit light around her or the person, and the person is looking really healthy and super glowing, and that often means they're just coming to say hi and, you know, checking up on you and hanging out with you. Those are really lovely dreams actually. I've had that about my grandma quite a few times, and really, really nice. Dream 3 I had a couple of days ago, and I was in this building, and it was a huge storm, and this building was like, you know, like one of those New York type of skyscraper buildings, and I was at the very top inside it, and it was so stormy, like the whole building was shaking, and it actually broke, the top broke off, and it totally collapsed with me inside it. And I was thinking in the dream, I was like, okay, I'm dying, I'm gonna die. And the thing is, I was kind of okay with dying in the dream. I was like, okay, well, this is it. Okay, I'll see you later. You know, I was okay with it. And I think that with buildings in your dreams represent something that's got quite a strong fundamental base normally. And so if the building is crashing down, like, it's the end of something that you've maybe built up for a while. For me, I think it's again to do with my job, but also to do with relationships and a whole bunch of stuff. I think I needed to let go of a lot of things as usual, because I'm quite an emotional person and I carry around a lot. But when you're dreaming of your building in your dream, then you need to figure out what it is in your life that's coming to an end. And let's say you see a building and it's kind of not, it's in ruins, or it's not built properly, or, you know, then that could mean that there's some form of like project that you're doing in life, whether it's a relationship or a job or a home life, but that you're simply not maybe looking after properly, or you're not happy with, or you just haven't done it yet. It could mean that. Something that I also wanted to really say in this video was that if you're having nightmares that keep coming back like every night, or at the very least like a few times a week, and it's the same nightmare, and you can't sleep because of it, or you're waking up and it's troubling you, it's actually taking over your life because you're not getting enough sleep and that sort of thing, then you're probably dealing with post-traumatic stress syndrome, and you'd be better off to go to a doctor and get it checked out, like talk to someone like a psychiatrist or someone that can help you through those symptoms and get through the post-traumatic stress, because that's such a huge subject, and you really need to get help for that. It ruins people's lives completely, and that's something that's needing to be let go. And I think that, you know, reaching out and getting the professional help that you need is a must for that. So I hope you can get that. So anyway, nightmares are shit. They suck pants. I hate them so much. And because I remember every dream I ever have, it's like waking up and I've been in this horrid film or something, and it can take over my entire day. So I know that it's horrible, but it's pretty much your higher self going, hey, listen already, listen. And because you haven't listened through the day, come on, you're not listening to me, so here you go, I'm gonna scare you to listen to me, type thing. So listen to your dreams. They're not just it's not just maybe if you've watched lots of horror movies and it's in there, in your head already. But for someone like me, I never watch horror movies because they freak me out. So I don't, and I still get them. So listen to them, especially if it's more than once. If you get them, keep getting them, then you have to listen. So anyway, I hope this has been a little bit helpful for you regarding the nightmare scenario, and I will see you soon. Lots of love. Bye.